Yes, I remain Reverend Dr. Tommy Joseph, your host, a regular host on this channel, and once more I welcome you to this video. At times they said experience is the best teacher, and truly there are times without experience you won't learn anything. And God, once in a while, makes us also have experiences. He teaches us through experiences, and in this video, we are going to see one. In the past videos on this subject of dominion, we digressed a bit to put some pieces together to give us a very good foundation to understand this subject. Now we are back on course and I'm settling down on practical dominion in this teaching. But before then, let's look at an experience God made the children of Israel to have. Genesis 15, from verse number 1 is a story we all know. How Abraham was spoken to by God, and he was asking God, say, Lord, am I going to end up without a child? Is this Eliezer, my servant, going to inherit all I have? Is he going to be my heir? And the Lord spoke to him and said, no, you are going to have your own child from your own loins, a child, your own blood, to succeed you. Now, and he was like, God, me have a child of my own? That would be great. And God said, it's like, is Abraham getting what he's trying to pass across? Then, to buttress the point, he brought him out and I said, look up, count the stars. If you can count them, then you can number your children. And Abraham believed him, and it was imputed unto him as righteousness. Abraham became righteous. Abraham settled down with the mind that yes, he is going to have descendants without number. But something God did here. Now this is the point I'm trying to make. In the course of discussions, God told Moses they are going to go into exile for 400 years for no offense committed. Many missed out on this. It's like, oh, what did they do? God sent them into exile in Egypt to suffer for 400 years. There was something God wanted. He knew man had fallen. Man had become something else, as we saw in the other videos. For man to get back to where man needs to be, man needs some experiences. And since Abraham is the chosen one through which God wants to come back to save man, then they did experience. And he sent them into Egypt. And they got into Egypt and went under dominion. They were ruled, they were controlled, they were abused. What was God doing? He hated them? No. He wanted them to understand rulership, understand dominion, understand taking charge, understand being in charge. Now, and the best way to have it is to put them under subjection. Why? Because now they are ruled, they are controlled. Somebody administrates over them. Somebody issues the command and now they obey. Now they understood dominion is in entirety. Because they were dominated, they were ruled. They felt the heat of being dominated. And they can tell you more about the pleasure of being in charge. And that was what God did by sending them into bondage in Egypt. It was a school. Let them go and learn and understand dominion. These are experiences we make at times. When we have bosses, we have leaders that oppress us. There's something we can pick out of it. He is a boss, he's a leader, he's in charge, he is in control. Understand control, understand dominion. In the place where you are, that's exactly where you're supposed to put situations, circumstances, all the other things that are contrary to God's plan for you. That's where the devil need to be. That's where the demon need to be. That's where the sicknesses, the diseases need to be. That's where delays, poverty, and co need to be. Learn and learn to take charge over them the way charge has been taken over you. It's a school. You just need to learn. You just need to understand. Be positive about it. If you can be positive about it and learn to apply it to the situation surrounding you, then you have overcome. Now, when the school was over, God took Moses from the palace to the wilderness of Midian and also put him in charge. From the palace, now to be in charge of the flocks. He was a shepherd. Now, also schooled in the wilderness. Now, one day, in the course of his duties, he encountered God. And God introduced him to dominion. How? Exodus 3 from verse number 1. You can read. This is fire burning, yet nothing is consumed. He saw fire burning, but nothing is consumed. And it caught his attention. He wanted to understand, he wanted to see, and he came around. And there was a voice, Moses, don't come close, remove your shoes, because where you are standing is holy. And he knew who was there and what was happening. What was God doing? God was showing Moses control, dominion, being in authority, being the maker, the creator, the one in control. Fire, come up. Fire, but don't consume anything. And here was fire, and nothing was being consumed. In my own opinion, I've seen dominion, control over fire. God tamed the fire to make it burn, yet not consume anything. That's the proof of his omnipotence. He can do all things. We have his image, we have his own likeness. We can do all things. If only we can understand that this is what he has given to us and stand forth to exercise it. Here is he with Moses. Now Moses has seen God in dominion practically. God spoke to him, Moses, I'm sending you to go and bring my people out. The Lord, I'm not sure I can do this. Now Moses looked at himself and not at the God. He didn't see himself in the image and the likeness of God. He saw himself in his own image. And God went out to build that image. And what did God say to him? Moses, what's in your hands? This is my staff. This is what I lead, what I use to lead my sheep. Say, okay, throw it on the ground. Moses did. And the staff in his hand becomes snake. And he was jolted a bit. Moses was, I dropped down my stick. It's now a stick. But what God was showing, look, I am God. I'm all powerful. I can do all things. It was your staff, now I've made it a snake. I can do all things. What God was doing was trying to introduce himself to Moses, into his own powers, his control, his dominion over whatsoever he has created. What he was saying is, Moses, I am God. That's what he was saying. Now, Moses was afraid and wanted to run. He said, don't run. Pick that that snake, hold it by the tail and pick it. Moses held the tail and picked it up like it was a normal stick. Suffice me to say this. When the staff was dropped on the ground, it became snake. That was a live snake with all the potentialities of a snake. If Moses, for any reason, has gone towards the head to hold the head, the snake was going to bite. And bite him with the poison inside, and he was going to suffer it. The snake, the staff in his hand, became a potential snake. It was a real snake. God transformed the staff into a snake. So, taking it by the tail, he took it. And again, it was his staff. Now this is a play of power. God was telling Moses, I am the all-powerful God. Moses in amazement was, maybe God saw that there's something that Moses didn't get. He said, put your hand into your bosom. He put down his bosom, said, bring it out. It was leprous. Again, his normal hand, clean hand, has become leprous. Put it again. He put it back again. Pull it out. It was normal. What was God telling Moses? Moses, I'm the omnipotent God. I'm the creator. I'm everything. Whatever I want to do, I do. So whatever I ask you to do, if you will do it, you will have it exactly what it was. God schooled Moses into practical dominion, practical exercise of power, practical exercise of his potential. Moses was face to face with it. He saw God did it in the bush. And here is God also now using him as a sample to do practicals. And it was practicalized on him. And now Moses came to terms with the power of God, with the powers God has to do whatever he wants to do, and also with the powers God delegated or bestowed upon him to do whatever he is commanded to do. He saw God doing his own things. This is fire, no bush is burning. Now he is involved. Drop your staff. He dropped his staff. Pick your staff. He picked back his staff. It was no longer a snake. Put your hand into your bosom. His hand into his bosom came out leprous. Put it back again and out again. It was clean. Now Moses saw God demonstrating his powers, his control, practically. And also God showed him how the same power can be demonstrated on something else, and even also on Moses himself. Now in this short encounter with God, Moses saw God doing his own thing. Moses saw God doing his thing with him, and Moses saw God doing things with Moses himself. He saw the fire, he saw the snake, but he saw his own hands going into his own bosom and coming out. Practical dominion. Now, what I'm trying to leave you in this video before we continue is Christianity is not theory. Dominion is not theory, it's practical. God has always done it practically. Man sees it. You call it miracle. God has also used man to do it practical. You see it. If dominion is not practical, it's not dominion. I'll end this video here, but in the next video, now I will bring up from the Bible where man took charge, took control, and was manifesting dominion practically. With these examples, all I'm trying to do in this teaching is to put us in a place where miracles, taking charge, control, dominion does not remain things we don't compare with things we cannot do. Let them be things we can do by ourselves. Let it be practical. In the next video, you will see practical dominion by man. But before you go, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to like it. I get encouraged when you like it. Also, the message is shared outside when you share. And when you subscribe, then you have placed yourself in a place where by any time there's a video, you are informed. Remain blessed. I will see you in the next video.